As you recall, when we used the jack the last time, when we removed the transmission, all we had was just a regular disc in there. But to get it back in, you'll need one of these, a transmission attachment. And it's a lot safer and it's a lot sturdier, so that it doesn't, tilt on you and stuff like that. And then it's got a forward and reverse tilt, and it makes things a lot easier when you try to get in the pilot holes and with the pilot studs. So then all you got to do, once you've got it in there, you got to turn the crank from the front to make sure that the spline lines up, and once you see that it's turning back here, it's lined up right, and then you can have to do a little bit of pressure on the back to make sure that it goes in. And then all we're doing now is we got the cross member in, and now we're just the transmission mount, we're tightening it up, and next will be the transfer case. Alright, we got the front drive shaft back in, you can see. And you got to remember when you're doing this, when you take it apart, make sure we mark it like we did here, so that you got the correct balance when you start driving down the road. Okay, now it's the front drive shafts, just like in the rear. Make sure that you lined it up with the marks that you've made. So on our next agenda now, exhaust system back on. There's one. Anyway, this broken bracket's got to be removed first so we can fix the exhaust and hang it so it doesn't start slapping around the frame. Okay, well, all the major work's done for the clutch. We put it all back in. We got transmission up and transfer cases all in. But we noticed when we took the exhaust off that we had a broken bracket, so we repaired that. So we're just waiting for it to cool off a little bit more. So while we're waiting for that, we're going to do an oil change while it's up in the air. Okay, that's good. Alright, we're putting the new oil filter on. When you put the new oil filter on, put a light coat of oil on that rubber ring. Alright, now to put new oil in the engine. Remember when you're reinstalling the exhaust system to reinstall all your sensor connections. Okay, now that we have our new bracket made, it's time to put it back. So first we've got to get some silicone in these holes in the rubbers. next what we're going to do now is service the front differential. We're going to take off this plate and drain it, and then we'll fill it again through this plug right here. Okay, now that we have the cover off the differential, you can see what the inside looks like. Looks like the teeth are okay. No damage, no major wear. So all we need to do now is take a scraper and scrape off the excess silicone. And once it's all done, then we'll put on some new silicone and put the cover back on. Here's what it should look like once you scraped all the silicone off. It's a nice clean surface. So now we're going to put the new stuff on, the new silicone, and then we're going to put the cover back on. Okay, find yourself a nice stable surface so it doesn't move around on you too much. You know, you got this dip in here. This pile of wood, you know, does great wonders. Show that was like shit. Anyway, it's not pretty, but that's what it's going to look like when you're done. Anyway, it's easy to take the plug out now. That way it just pushes in after. Okay, there we have the cover back on, and it's all full. Now we're going to do the back. Okay, here are the internals of the rear differential. This isn't the stock rear end though. I had it changed a couple of years ago. One thing that's terrible about the limited slip differentials is that the clutch plates are too thin, and when you like to drive and step on it, they break too easily and get in all in your gears, and then, well, it's baked. So I had this put in instead, and this is pretty much trouble-free. Alright, cover's back on. All we got to do now is fill it. Alright, there we have it. Now both front and rear differentials have been serviced. Okay, there we have it, all reassembled. So all we got to do now is lower the truck, put on the belt and air filter. Okay, now we're all done with the truck. We've repaired everything that needed to be repaired. So now it's the moment of truth. We're going to start her up and take her for a drive.